Welcome to Solarpunk Life. We are here in Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, or a little outside of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. I'm Jason, and this is my special guest host, friend of the show, friend of the movement, Andy Randolph.
Hello, thanks for having me on, guys.
We decided tonight that we were going to have a meal at the Kelley Farm Kitchen,
Absolutely.
nestled in historic Harpers Ferry. The Kelley Farm Kitchen is a vegetarian-vegan restaurant that is very community-centric and very locavore-centric. And as soon as we went live, Andy hit us up and they were like, guys, you have got to try this restaurant. And they went through the reasons why. I'm not going to recount it. I'm going to let them tell you why. So why'd you bring us out to the Kelley Farm Kitchen?
Kelleys Farm Kitchen is my favorite restaurant in the area. The food is phenomenal. It is beautifully prepared and presented. It is ethically sourced, and it is all local to the area, and it's really freaking good. And when I saw my buddies talking about starting this YouTube channel and wanted to talk about these sorts of topics, it just clicked for me that, like, you guys need to check out Kelleys, because
Man, did we.
there's something deeply spiritual about eating a good meal. I'm an atheist, but there's something spiritual about eating a good meal.
Atheists can be spiritual.
And it I think it hits all of the check boxes of what is important about Solarpunk and the ideals of Solarpunk. And yeah, I just thought it'd make for a fun video and an excuse to hang out and eat good food. So
When we say local, a localvore's dream, they source within 75 miles. Now that's about an hour. Now granted, that's Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia,
Sure.
and depending on which way you're going, maybe southern Pennsylvania.
oh yeah.
But 75 miles for a locavore is hardcore. I'm impressed.
Yeah, it's all remarkably fresh, and it is tough to eat at Kelleys and then go back home and to the grocery store and get your food like that. Kelleys spoils you.
When we say good, it's when you truck and ship vegetables, when you truck and ship ingredients. Now, a lot of their meat is jackfruit or Impossible patties.
It's not meat.
All right, but it's clearly vegan and vegetarian friendly. But everything else could be shipped in from somewhere else. You go to the grocery store and buy a cucumber or some spring mix, and it's coming from California.
Mm-hmm.
Now the thing is, when they pack that stuff up and they ship it across country, the methods that they use, not only does it burn a ton of fossil fuel, like the fossil fuel consumption is astronomical when we're shipping, especially in the winter, but the methods that they use to wash it down, prep it, and seal it, it loses, one, nutritional value, and it loses that flavor.
Yeah.
It gets bitter, your lettuces get bitter, or you just get a bland cucumber that's gross, or a tomato that's been gas ripened. No one wants that.
And you can argue ethics of eating local and eating vegetarian and going meatless. I don't think that argument is as strong as flavor and taste and feeling good about yourself and feeling good about your community. And that is where I think Kelleys wins the argument hands down every single time. You go to Kelleys, Big Kelley is greeting you, he's giving you a hug, you're catching up. Sandra is right there. You can watch her making the food. You can see the kitchen from your table. She's bringing it out to you, asking you how it
Wash
is.
your bike. They have a bike wash.
And the tables are all right next to each other, and you can't help but see every meal is a work of art as they bring it out, because it's not just the flavor, but it's the colors and how they prepare it. I mean, the side salad looks like a rose. Like, what? That's amazing. So you're seeing it come out and you're like, oh, wow, that looks good. What'd you order? Oh, I got this. Oh, well, I had that last time. Try this. And you're just getting to know the people next to you, and you feel good. You eat a great meal. You talk to a bunch of friendly people who are all you're making a new friend in the area, or you're meeting someone who's on an Appalachian Trail adventure, and you're sharing stories. And then you go home and you feel good about yourself because you didn't eat a bunch of garbage food that Americans like to garbage.
No fryers, no microwaves. So your sides are choices of, hey, homemade sides, homemade coleslaw, homemade side salad.
The chili,
mac and cheese.
The green chili is off the chart. The regular chili is also real good. The side salad is phenomenal. The mac and cheese is dope. So good. I want more of it right now already.
So you don't think, man, I want fries. It doesn't even cross your mind.
Well,
and that's cool.
Talking to my vegan friends, because I first started getting interested in veganism because I had vegan friends and I wanted to have them over for dinner and prepare stuff that they can eat. And they'll be like, oh, if you have a raw onion and some french fries, I'll be fine. And I'm like, no, just because,
cut the onion into dinosaur shapes and they're good, right?
Well, they're so used to not being able to eat at restaurants because even the salads are loaded up with bacon and stuff. So they'll say, oh, just give me fries and I'll be fine. And I love that Kelleys is like, fries is a staple of veganism and we're not serving french fries. We don't need to.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
They don't. They absolutely don't. One of the other things is, and I'm not a vegan and I'm not a vegetarian, but I'm very vegan and vegetarian friendly. Rosie is 100% vegetarian, so we do most of our meals local at home, and they are vegetarian meals, and you can have delicious stuff. I appreciate that everybody can get something there that tastes good and makes them feel good, and you're supporting a local business, a small local business, and that's big. That's huge. That's huge in our community because supporting each other is one of the tenets of Solarpunk.
And another thing that I think stands out is there's no pretending at Kelleys. They're not trying to trick you into thinking like, oh, this is as close to tasting like a beef burger as we can get it, or like the jackfruit steakhouse sub that I had. They're not trying to make it a Philly cheesesteak. It is its own thing. It's not trying to mimic the flavor profile of meat. And there's textural similarities for sure. The jackfruit is similar to shredded pork, but it's not trying to taste like that.
No.
And because they're not trying to mimic other people's flavor profiles, they're doing their own thing. And it's amazingly unique.
And if you go in expecting that, it was a huge hit of flavor.
Yeah.
And it was delicious, and there was nothing I didn't like. And I'm picky about stuff sometimes.
If you throw a rock in West Virginia, 9 times out of 10, you'll hit a restaurant that is doing the exact same $16 burger, $13 chicken fingers and fries, kind of American classic food. And to have a restaurant right in the heart of Harpers Ferry that is doing something completely unique, completely something that no one else is doing with ingredients that no one else is using that are all locally sourced, and it all tastes phenomenal, and the portion sizes are massive. It's incredible. You have to go check it out. If you are in the area or are going to be in the area or can find a reason to be in the area, you should go to Kelleys and get yourself a phenomenal meal.
The Kelley Farm Kitchen, Union Street, Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. We can't speak bad of it. There's nothing bad about this experience.
And as much as I can say there's no one else in the area doing what they're doing, if you are not in the area, find a place that is like this, because there are other restaurants that are doing this sort of thing with ethically sourced ingredients, local ingredients, big flavor, huge portion sizes, focused on community, focused on local art. God, everything about Kelleys is great. Like, they're constantly showing off local art and stuff. Like, they're a part of the community. And if you aren't here, but you sound like this sounds right up your alley, there's got to be other people doing it nearby. So find a place that's doing it and support it.
So, we are Solarpunk Life. Andy, we brought you on. We got you on front of the camera.
Yeah.
All right, plug your projects.
Plug my projects?
Plug your projects.
I have a weekly podcast called Ending Pending, where my fiance and my my good buddy Ronnie. We talk about one-season TV shows, and we try and deep dive them like CSI investigators and find out what worked, what didn't work, and why it got canceled. It is a comedy podcast, but then we also use it as a backdoor to talk about other issues, whether it's stuff connected to the show or just issues in general that are happening. So we have a good time, but we also occasionally try and talk about, use the pop culture as a way to talk about other stuff. I am a voice actor with a Horror Borealis Side Stories. I'm a voice actor with Good Neighbors. Those are both actual play RPG podcasts. And then I am a podcast host for Force Friends Rewatch, which is a Star Wars podcast, where we talk about gay stuff and Star Wars.
Well, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like Joe and I, you come from a pretty geek background.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool.
Super nerdy. Well, I think it's the ethics I learned from being a nerd of, you can't watch Star Wars, Star Trek, read Tolkien, and then grow up and not care about the people around you and the community around you. And I think the people who have done those things and then don't care about their community, don't care about the environment, missed the plot. Like, I don't know how you can read Tolkien and then not care about the environment. And so...
And hairy feet.
I think it's being a nerd that has made me passionate about also caring about the environment, caring about how animals are treated, and caring about my neighbors. So yeah, absolutely, I'm a huge nerd.
So there you go. Get yourself a meal at the Kelley Farm Kitchen. Andy might be there.
Yeah, come say
You
hi.
hang out with Andy. That's why we're here. It's great. Union Street, Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. We're going to get Andy on again in the future. There's plenty of other opportunities to interact and mesh together with what we've got going on. Again, we tell you, send us your ideas. Send us your recommendations. Send us gear.
They might throw you on camera.
Might throw you on camera. All right? So we do the ending. You know the ending.
Do good.
Be good.
Eat good food.
All right.
What's this burger called, Jason?
That's the Big Ben burger.
Big Ben burger.
And a side salad that'll feed an entire army. All right, I'm going to put this thing in my mouth.